Hey guys, it's Scott Bars here, the self-proclaimed hip-hop historian, and this is the third episode of my series where I take 5 of my favorite hip-hop verses and share them with you guys. First off, this time around, I had to go with my favorite rapper currently doing it, Billy Woods, who has a litany of amazing verses, many of which I've shared throughout my reviews of his work. But here I wanted to share his killer performance off the track Smith plus Cross, the closing song off his stellar 2022 LP, Aethiopes, where he gives us a poignant verse about love, one of the many areas I feel Billy really excels in. Rapping, the emotional affair was the best, intoxicating, let's not ruin it with sex, relationship, doctor, patient, kush cake like LASIK, rest in bitch face, breastplate, Wonder Woman bracelets, you can shoot arrows all day, kid, hearts scrawled in wet pavement, Ozymandias is the wavelength, here today, gone tomorrow, sorrow, white rum in my sorrel, something old, something new, something borrowed, blew his stack on oysters piled like Kilimanjaro, crostini charred avocado draped in lardo. Still got no quarrel with them Viet Congs, speak sepia tones, everyone I know is gone, no stigmata, they put nails through arms, Temple Grandin keep the cattle calm, side saddle took Carrie to the prom, Joanne Chesimard, windows open nights warm, power cuts, no ice so the Cuba Libre strong, fire in the cane fields, generational trauma, at the museum eyes glassy from the pain pills, me and her in the diorama. Next up, I want to go back to the 90s, which I definitely haven't done enough so far in this series. But I realized it would be a great time to knock out one of my all-time favorite verses from Cash Money's own Juvenile. Because while I've obviously covered his groundbreaking 400 Degreez LP on the page, I'm pretty sure I didn't share this verse in that review. And as iconic as it is, I still adore his performance on the title track 400 Degreez. He kicks off this top 10 Manny Fresh beat spitting, you see me, I eat, sleep, shit, and talk rap. You see that 98 Mercedes on TV, I bought that. I had some felony charges, I fought that. Been sent to no return, but still was brought back. Rappers threw some slang at me, Wody, I caught that, and punished them little bitches before they could carjack. Now I'm looking for they family and partners to war back. If I ain't a hot boy, then what do you call that? Someone disrespect me, I'ma be in all black, accompanied by some homies bout killing and all that. Me, Corey, and Rusty getting ducked off, ride top down so we let the trucks park, in the Jeep run faux deep. I'm booted up at these people claiming they know me. Well, I don't have time to share his whole second verse since I have some pretty long ones coming up. I do want to at least give the first few lines since they're so dope. Starting when Juvie raps, bitch what? I'll bust your ass up. Don't even go there, Wody, cause I'm ready to mask up. I heard about the money, that's some nice change. For the right price, I'll bust the right brain. Why must a brother try? I can't do the right thing. Only God knows what the future might bring. Next on the list, I want to cover one of hip hop's biggest what ifs, the D.O.C, whose stellar 1989 debut was featured on the page forever ago. And even though he was insanely ahead of his time on that LP, I feel like his closing verse on the outstanding posse cut, the grand finale, is one of those moments that really shows what a force this dude was prior to his accident. I know in my review, I believe I said Easy had my favorite verse, but honestly, since then, I think I've sort of changed my opinion because D.O.C was just technically doing things virtually no other rapper at the time was. And that was even the case for the majority of the other NWA members, where he followed the likes of Easy, Ren, Dre, and Cube, yet kind of gave them all a run for their money, in my opinion. Rapping, swinging, singing, a brand new rap on a rhythm concocted by my homie in the back, and if it makes you giggle, it must be kinda funny, but to me it's kinda cool, tell him why, I'm making money. Tripping off the man with the swift hand movement, proving if you're grooving then it's cool when he be doing it, taking a second for me to blow your mind, 'cause I'm the diggy diggy dog and I would've been down with rock, but I was smart. The D.O. to the C knowing the formula. It's rough, I mean it's funky enough for me, and you can have a listen, helping and some dissin', DONTMOVE, yo, without permission. From the D.O. to the C, I'm just better than the normal man, and I'll be damned if a sucker can ever compete with the elite, much less speak. It's like dancing with two left feet. Never smile when the doc is in the room, or I'ma send your ass right to the temple of doom. I got raw when I came to Cali. Now I'm with NWA on the motherfucking grand finale. Returning to the 90s once again, I wanted to hit up the late legend Big Pun, as I know I shared a good chunk from Twins back when I reviewed Capital Punishment, but I'm almost positive that didn't leave me the time to share a verse that I think is actually even better. And it was also the song that introduced me to Pun, that being Super Lyrical with Black Thought. And it's legitimately the only time I can think of where that dude was outdone on a track clearly. Though with The Punisher, that was pretty much inevitable regardless of the MC. To back up that pretty major claim, I have to share Pun's first verse, where he comes in with, Ayo, my murderous rap verbal attack is actual fact. Tactical tracks match perfectly with graphical stats. Half of you lack the magical dap of tragical rap that tackles your back and shackles and laughs at you. That's the mathematical madness I'm on. The savage, the strong, the marriage and bond of havoc and song. This massacre's on as if Picasso laced you. There's lots of hateful skeletons locked in the closet of my castle at Grayskull. I'm possum at Gray School. That's why I have to debate you. My raps are like cable, slashing your facial. That's how a master degrades you. I'm battling Jesus. If he passes through my label, I'm snatching his halo. God, I'll trade you if you send my father back as an angel. Language is fatal and it's hypnotizing. I'm only emphasizing I'm still all about business and enterprising. I'm super lyrical with brain booster chemicals that's used up tentacles inside of my mental projectable. Switching up the tempo a bit, I wanted to touch on the closing song off Brockhampton's Ginger, which, despite being a personal LP full of revealing and touching verses, surprisingly, the best one didn't even come from someone in the group, as Victor Roberts, a friend of the crew who the track is titled after, is giving the entire song to himself outside of a few sung vocals toward the back end. I'm not really sure if this dude has done anything else musically, but he sounds like he's been rapping for a minute because not only does he have a really interesting and dope voice, but his pen and cadence is insanely impressive, which is why I'm going to share this entire thing, making it by far the longest verse I've shared so far. But if any song warrants it, it would be this one. This dude paints a vivid and heartbreakingly grim, yet honest portrayal of his upbringing in a lower class neighborhood with drug addicted parents. And honestly, I'm just going to stop describing it and let the track speak for itself, because the lyrics do it way better than I ever could. And those begin when he says, my fucking Power Rangers couldn't protect me from that LAPD kick door. Motel, pig pork, swim through the living room, straight to the bedroom looking for brick dope. My papa looked at my mama looking at that closet like there that shit go. Two keys in a thumper, 10K with the mustard, a whole family and no buster. This don't add up. My padre facing them three strikes and my mama just smacked the pipe. Crack smoke got crashed tight. This shit's still bad, cuz the boys peeped a Brillo pad and some glass tucked, and it's looking like my parents was up in here running all through that stash dump, but the fact crack different than coke. Plus, the smoke wasn't close enough to choke me, lowered scrutiny so mom could kick big backs for bruh. The truth is, we held the bag for this kid we took in, trying to part with his old ways. Maybe we all mistook him, 'cause I knew something was fucked up when he said, don't open or look in this here satchel that I'll be back for in just a couple of minutes. Then hella hours later, like do I cook dinner now or later, worried about cold food for a cold fool motherfucker put my family in danger. I blame myself, pardon my anger, I never looked inside his stuff, so he never really needed to hide his stuff. When he showed me what was really inside this stuff, I never had a clue. Now I know as police, you gotta do what you gotta do, but this my family, all I got is us, my homie. My own mother just shot at us, my homie. This why we here, and I don't fuck with people I don't know. But I had a heart to help this kid in danger. Tears and anger. Gemini getting violently. Police sirens don't help anxiety. My daddy's priors tame all of his wildin'. All of these pilots, not one of them flying. Y'all planning on trying? This flight is diving, nose tucked, popo stuck. Play your part. All this commotion and neighbors listening like, oh fuck, shit finna spark. All this emotion need a decision made with some heart, cause ours is broken. They trying to lock the third notch on my pop's choker. This shit ain't kosher. Mom's is over. If CPS get sent them pages, I ain't gonna see my parents for ages. All this erosion, no more protection, shit don't feel safe. What graduation? What degrees? What dissertation? What imagination? Imagine my whole world being taken away from me. All over some bass and misconstrued melodies, my heart racing, clutching my Red Ranger pace, and I can barely breathe. And Mr. Policeman told policeman, we got what we need, just let him be. And with that, we've now reached the end of this list, so if you made it all the way through, thank you for bearing with me. And if you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and let me know what verses you thought stood out the most here. Don't forget to have a great day, and I'll see you next time, okay? Alright.